Good morning, everyone. This is O.G.Starwars here, and we are now in live coffee chat. So please grab your mug of coffee, tea, hot chocolate, or your favorite eye opener, and let's get this chat started. Let's go ahead and wait for a few more people to come in. And for those who are here, let's go ahead and share what we're having this morning. How are you guys doing? Good morning. All right. So is it a beautiful morning here, Thursday morning, and it's nice and sunny as of now where I live at, but we are expecting rain. So I don't fare well in the cold, even though I'm from the Northern Plains. I'd rather stay nice and warm. So if you guys are experiencing any weather issues, like cold, rainy, and you have to be out there in it or travel in it or have to run around to do chores, go to work, stay safe, stay warm. So let's see who's in here. Hi, Rookie Critic. How are you doing? Morning. What's your choice of beverage? And see, I'm wearing my glasses today. I'm going to take them off, but yes, I wear glasses. I'm a nerd. Yeah. And Pell 265, good morning. Maxwell House Coffee. Folgers right here. And I wish I could say your name, but morning. Teresa Martin, good morning. And Teresa, I put her on one of my shout outs on one of my videos. She is my very first sponsor. She bought one of my merchandise from my Redbubble. I believe it was the Traveler's mug. So I'm very excited about that. I hope that it's faring well with you and that you're liking that. Wow, 37 and rain. Oh. Hey, Lorena, how are you doing? Lovely morning. I've got Diet Peach Green Tea with my lunch right now. Awesome. That sounds really good. I love teas as well, but my choice here is coffee in the morning. All right. So I like to try to share interesting mugs when I can. This mug got me in trouble a while back on live chat, but here you go. I said something totally different. Only one person caught it, but I'm not going to say what I said now. Rookie Critic, 3 episodes to go for the project with Scribs. I am so excited. I can't wait and wait to work with you on this. I am super, super excited. Just call me Batman. Yes. That's what I was going to do. Okay. Haha, nice mug. I know. I like a sense of humor. So, yes. So, yeah, this is me with my glasses on. All right. So I've been noticing that there's some news out about Baby Yoda. Let's see here. I know that he is going to be at the Build-A-Bear. And so many people are going to go ahead and, adults and kids are going to go ahead and get in on that and build a Yoda, I guess. I don't know if it's just building him or going and getting the plush from there, but you build your character, your whatever. So I see that Baby Yoda species is going to be at Build-A-Bear. So I imagine we'll be seeing a lot of that on Twitter and other social medias once the Baby Yoda comes out. So you guys willing to go get a Baby Yoda Build-A-Bear? Hi, Luke Skywalker. How are you doing? Grandmaster Luke Skywalker, right? Pertaining to the lore and the novel we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about Legacy of the Force Betrayal novel, and I am going to play some clips from that as well. So we're going to get through a little bit of news. I didn't go through much news this morning or yesterday for today's live chat because my central focus wanted to be the EU lore and the novel. So, but I was looking at some Baby Yoda news here, and I found an article from CNET, and it's back in December, and I'm looking at it right now. And it talks about Baby Yoda having a name. And the CEO, Bob Iger, said that he was going to announce it on the Star Wars show that Friday. And this was dated back December 23rd, 2019. So last year in December. So I wonder if anybody caught that, or if they really revealed his name, because I did not see anything or any inkling or hints that there is a name for Baby Yoda, or the Yoda baby species, or whatever you want to call him, because we have not even heard anything yet. So I'm going to look into that further and find that video and see what's going to come of that, or if they really announced the Baby Yoda's name. Okay, let's see here. Frank Hernandez, good morning. Hi, Laura. I'm going to drink gin with Tang orange juice. Here it's 1 a.m. Oh, okay. In the Philippines. Also, I'd rather spend 30 on McDonald's than waste money on Build-A-Bear. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's usually for children and stuff. I've only done Build-A-Bear once, but it was for a gift. Hi, Jamajanai. How are you doing? Can't stay long. About to head to the coal mine. Oh, it's a work day. All right. Well, thank you for dropping in and saying hello. And, you know, I hope your work day goes by quick and you can get home and shower and have a great evening. So Damajanai, if you guys haven't had a chance yet, go ahead and check out his channel, and especially the Rookie Critic. I am working with him on a special project. I think he announced on Twitter, but I'm not going to say too much right now. Maybe next coffee chat, or when we get the go, then I will tell a little bit more about that. So I'm excited. And then to work on this project with him. Oh, goodness. All right. Yeah, so on this, back to this Baby Yoda name. So I am going to explore this a little bit more, because we did not even know, or no one shared anything about the Baby Yoda's name. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Baby Yoda. I've never been a huge fan of Baby Yoda, not like a lot of people. But it's just, I'm just curious about this. I mean, if he has a name, then I'd rather just call him the name than Baby Yoda or Baby Yoda species or whatever when referring to him when discussing the Mandalorian. La Reina, I've got a daughter, so I've given Build-A-Bear enough of my money over the years. I'll pass on Baby Yoda from there for now. Yeah. Okay, Rookie Critic. I can talk about it a little bit. Okay, so I will here soon. Okay. Let's see here. I've done Build-A-Bear with my goddaughter, or my goddaughter. Ugh, yeah. Still have it. Give it to her when I see her. Oh, that's pretty cool. See, that's what I love about that. I love gifting people. I love gifting kids when it's their birthday, special occasions. And again, in my culture, when we celebrate significant things or even deaths or whatever, we do giveaways. So if I was a head woman at a powwow, which means I'm chosen by the powwow committee to help the dancers, then I am obligated, or I'm not obligated, but I give back. I may do a dance contest and dance off my category, or like women's category, whatever, and then have a giveaway in my honor. We give, we don't receive in honor, I guess you could say. So there's a little bit of history there. They'll make Mando and Lesbo. Oh, Lord. Just imagine that. Let's see here. Bernie Yoda, 50-year-old child, needs some 28-year-olds for his teenage years too. Oh my God. This is what we're turning into here. Look at doing our own. Holy crap. Yeah, he is just known as the child. So maybe that's the name, but that's what I got on that article. So I'm going to investigate it a little bit more. When you look up his biography, like on Wikipedia, they call him the child. And that's what I've been trying to do lately, is call him the child, like, except for right now. But everybody says Baby Yoda. And so that's what we are used to saying and hearing when we reference him. O.G.Starwars, he is a space mogwai. Yes, he actually reminds me of that. It just brings back memories from all that. Teresa Martin, I'm heading to Build-A-Bear ASAP. You need to share that and your experience there when you do build the baby or the baby Yoda. I would like to see that. Baby Buddha. Okay. Rub his belly for luck. Gladiator match Baby Yoda versus Baby Groot. Oh, that'd be an interesting little parody cartoon. I love Baby Groot. Hi, Giovanna. How are you doing, darling? What is your choice of drink this morning? What are you having? What type of eye opener? Coffee, tea, hot chocolate, anything stronger? Just share with us. It's fine. All right. I'm going to close out some windows here. All right. So I have a question here then. So what do you think is going to come of this Baby Yoda in Mandalorian, since we all have been watching The Mandalorian and now are anticipating the next season? So what are your predictions for Baby Yoda and maybe the Mandalore? But since we're talking Baby Yoda at this moment, what are your predictions for Baby Yoda? What do you think is going to happen? You know, I always laugh and say that if this was Boba Fett, Baby Yoda would have been turned in to the for the bounty, because he was a no nonsense kind of guy. He's like, I take care of my job, I do it well, I collect my pay, and I go. So, I mean, but that's just my theory. That's just my thing on if it was Fett, because I see a lot of things that are very similar with the Mandalorian, with the Fett family, like with Jango and Boba, when it came to some of the arc from this last season. So, it's kind of they're taking that and spinning it into Mandalorian. That's how I see it, like just with any other legend stuff. Frank Hernandez, I got Baby Yoda. I'll just pull a Last Jedi subvert my friend's expectations for my joy and throw it over my shoulder. You need to record that. That would be amazing. And Ryan Kinnell would love that. I'm well, and you? I actually ginger ale because I'm sick. Oh, I'm so sorry. Get better, darling. Yeah, that will help out a lot, and rest. So thank you for coming in and spending some time here with us. Rookie critic, good morning. All right. Razvin, Turbo, the god of money. Remember, Peggy Bundy rubbing it. God, those were good times, huh? Good shows. We don't have shows like that anymore. It sucks. Okay, the rookie critic, Baby Yoda is going to be the true hidden Sith Lord. Wouldn't that be something? And see, remember, I think it was last coffee chat, or maybe no. It was when I was doing a live paint one night, and I was painting on Mara, and I was asking, what should I paint? And we talked about Baby Yoda, but doing a Baby Yoda, like a evil or a Sith Baby Yoda, I think that would be awesome. Okay, so I don't know what that one's about. Okay, we need this person out of here. I need to make a mod. Okay, none of my mods are in here this morning. I'm gonna have to get a mod in here. All right, let's go here. Oh wait, I had the rookie up here. The Baby Yoda will get a job at the cantina. He'll say, no droids allowed, and then shove him out. All right, Giovanna, believe it or not, I think they would play it safe and have Mando as a caretaker of Baby Yoda. And you know what? That would suck. I am not here to watch a Mandalorian babysit a creature. I want some action. I want some hardcore action where he's on missions, and fighting for whatever what's going on in the galaxy, protecting his people, whatever. Mandalorian lore, finding out more about why there was a purge, all that, but not to just sit around and watch him babysit this little thing. No. But again, that's what they're hinting on because, you know, he's the tribe of two, I guess you can say. I'm probably quoted that wrong, but all right. Giovanna Mullins, believe it or not, I think they would play it safe and have Mando as they. Oh, I already read that one. Jeez. All right. Okay, Benjamin. Due to the Mandalorian being a ripoff and watered down Fett, it's why the Mando versus Fett would be good for a good final boss. With Fett painted as a scum hunter, or yeah, with no mercy. I would love to see Boba Fett in there. However, you know, I watched his story evolve in the original EU, and I am very skeptical if they're going to do his story right, especially when he got written out as a Mandalorian in this new lore, you know, because the Clone Wars went along to the Disney side, to the dark side, Disney side. So in that, the Fets are not Mandalorian anymore. And I don't sit well with that. You know, when you see Django and he's recruited to be to have clones made of him, it's because how he was raised. Jester Morale was the one that raised him in the Mandalorian culture. He found him on Concord Dawn, you know, of course, with his family slain and all that. And Concord Dawn is part of the Mandalorian sector. So basically, that planet is still in Mandalorian sector. And it's also a place where a lot of Mandalorians live as well. So he got brought in, trained, raised, became a badass Mandalorian. And because of the skills and stuff, he was selected. He was chosen to be for the clones to copy off and train and everything, you know, because of his training and his no nonsense type of attitude. And then from there, you know, the armor became an example of, you know, what clones were going to wear. So that was a significant part of the story, part of the lore that I absolutely loved. And now that's just gone with Disney. And it's like I said, so it'll be very, very different, though the badassery will still be there with the Fets. It's just their arc and stuff is very, very different. So I don't know if it would sit well with you guys, with me, not necessarily, but I do see a lot of similarities with, like I said, the Mandalorian story about him being their village and their planet being attacked and he being saved and being raised as a Mandalorian, I guess, just like Jester Morale. I mean, not Jester, just like Django. Sorry, Jester's the one I took him, saved him. Come to the dark side, you must. Cookies we have. Cookies. That sounds good. I should have grabbed a couple to have with my coffee. Yes. There's your mod. Soul Assassin. Yeah. Hello, Soul Assassin. I had someone in here. All right. That was kind of being vulgar a little bit. Not fun. I need to make some more mods. I'm going to have to make Lorena one. You know, she's one of our dark queens. Morning, OG, Wookiee Supremacy. How are you doing? What is your choice of coffee again? Good morning. There we go. The Clan of Two. See, I was like the Tribe of Two, but I was just talking about tribal stuff earlier. So Clan of Two. Kathia? Is that how you say it? Kathia? That's really pretty. O.G.Starwars, I'm so glad I'm able to catch your chat this morning. I am so glad you are here, darling. So yeah, Kathia? Wow, that's gorgeous. I like that. My name is Alora, Alorha. So it's Laura spelled differently with an A, but that's really, really gorgeous. All right, Benjamin Keith. The Clone Wars 2008 Filoni didn't care what it retconned. Exactly. That's why I do not favor the Clone Wars. Filoni's the Clone Wars. I love Tartakovsky's. That's like a mouthful right there. Yeah, so I love Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. More so than The Mandalorian. Wow. All right. It retconned Mortis and the Mandalorian Queen pacifist. Yeah, and that's the thing too. So now they're like, when that was being retconned after that was created in the Clone Wars by Filoni, they had to start retconning that within the books. And so they were trying to say, well, another part of the world, there's, a place where people were more pacifist. But when you get to know Mandalorian culture, they were no nonsense. They were, they had their clans, they had their warrior society. They were very, very proud people. So that really didn't sit well with me in a sense. Okay, I'll make you one of them, darling. I have to go do it on my phone here. I'll do it in a couple minutes. By them, okay, Damajanai, by them doing what they are doing, they have eliminated the point of having Drudge, I can't even read today, fight against the clones. He only joined the separatist. He hated the Mandalorians. So there's a little bit of history there, and I did do a review on the Bounty Hunter Wars, and so it kind of gave us an idea about Boba Fett and how he survived the Sarlacc pit and his journey. Then I am going to start going back in the timeline after the Legacy of the Force series. So we're going to get on that in a couple minutes. Oh, I had it upside down. Oh, okay. And I want to go more into that. So I want to do that, since we are on a break from the Mandalorian, and hash over the Fets and then also the Mandalorian culture, because it's very, very interesting, having their own language and their own lifestyle, their clans, like even if they lived away from the Mandalorian sector or whatever, whenever they were needed, they came together, especially when the Yuuzhan Vong War came along. And that's about that time, that's when Boba Fett became the Mandalore, or the ruler, and led them to fight off against the Yuuzhan Vong. So they might have Mando fight Maul. Maybe he was hiding in Return of the Jedi. Oh God, there. I'm sorry. I liked the concept of Maul, especially in the Phantom Menace and all that, and then just seeing him here and there. But I just think he's now an overplayed character. Now, I'm gonna go. I will do a review on the book and everything, but I think after seeing he showed up in Solo and stuff, I don't know. I'm stuck on the fence with his character right now. Razvan, I am simple, man. I don't like the worlds between worlds. I don't either. And when that came out with Rebels, I'm like, why are you going there, Disney? Why are you doing this? Why are you introducing a sort of time travel to Star Wars? I mean, wouldn't the Force not want that anyways? Because the Force is, it's just, to me, it just doesn't make sense, because then it can be manipulated to where, people can travel back and forth and manipulate time and, events and stuff. So Disney also have Mando meet Ashoka or fight each other. Ahsoka. That would be kind of interesting. I am interested to see like how they're gonna expand her character in the remaining Clone Wars that they're the new season coming up. Benjamin Keith, OTPT EU lore had a hard time mixing competently at the Clone Wars. Sadly, it's why the old EU lore began to fall apart. Yeah, so that's when you've seen it. And then we see a lot of retconning going on in these books, or not these ones, but in Legacy or Fate of the Jedi too as well. And there's a lot of debate about who was really responsible for this break in continuity. And we will always be debating that, because there's no true answer anymore. And there probably will be no answer about what exactly was going on and why this lore was broken, why did they go down this path, and the retconning and stuff. But now that the Clone Wars is officially Disney Lucasfilm canon, now in Legends, I think that we are okay. All right, you guys are hopping today. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through some of this, and then we're going to get on the clips for the book. I can't wait. All right. Frank Hernandez, I just want Disney to make Rogue Squadron movie. Put Old Wedge and Lando in it. Go from there. All right. So I love the X-Wing series, and I love the fact that Luke and Wedge is the one that created the Rogue Squadron, and how Luke, for his training and all this other stuff, he went ahead and made Wedge the leader of the squadron, and he, stepped out. But however, every time he was able to step in with the squadron, they held a respectful spot for him. But when you look at the Rebels, when Wedge came in through the Rebels, and between then and A New Hope, his arc is kind of different now. I wonder how they will spin him if they did that. And I wonder how they would spin it with Luke, or if they will even have Luke being one of the original creators of Rogue Squadron. The way they've taken Luke, I doubt it. And I don't hold my breath on them ever doing anything good for Luke anymore, because it leads up to the sequel trilogy and up to him being a coward and giving up on the Force and everybody else. So that's my take on it. That's my rant. Soul Assassin. The actress from Battlefront 2 could have been a good villain if she stayed with the Empire. And I am going to pick a game and start gaming here as part of my unwind thing from school, something to relax to and stuff. So I'm getting my equipment. I want to be able to maybe do a couple live streams on gaming and do that as well for my channel, but it's going to be Star Wars related, of course. So I narrowed my choices down. I just haven't been able to purchase it and get it going on my PC. So I hope to be providing some gaming fun here soon. All right. Hi, Abu Nas. Yes, I will bring you as a guest on my show, darling. I know you're at work right now, and I still am not able to nail down a right time in the evening for my cocktail chats. But I will schedule that in. And I know you have some big news going on, that he's going to be celebrating his 2-year anniversary, becoming a YouTuber regarding Star Wars. And so that's going to be on the 25th, and I will be there and probably be on his live stream as well. So I'll be in the chat and live stream. I don't know exactly how he's going to do this. I know he's going to bring in guests. We only can have 6 guests at a time. So I'll be one of them at one point. I can't wait to celebrate. I remember seeing his very first rant about Star Wars. And since then, I've been one of his followers. And now he has been so kind and supported me in so many ways with my channel, that I am just very thankful for the friendship and the love through our platforms. Oh, wow, I have a lot going on here. All right, let me go ahead and read a couple more, and then we're going to get into Betrayal, Legacy of the Force. So Legacy of the Force, again, I skipped ahead and did Inferno. And I did that because I knew Rise of Skywalker was coming out. But another reason why I did that is that it showed and shared with us the Grandmaster Luke Skywalker that we know and we love through the EU, and that we should have got in the sequel trilogy. I mean, they didn't, if they were going to do their own thing, I think that they still should have just took the overall character arc instead of reinventing him and went with that. I mean, we could have a totally different story, but still have the same Luke Skywalker. And they just fuck that shit up. Sorry, but that's how I feel about that. All right. Yet none of the Worlds Between Worlds bit was used to help survival make any sense. Instead, we get crapola. I think any which way they go right now. I mean, I was on the live stream Toxic Femininity. I'm a part of that group now. We covered Trevorrow's script, and anything that would have came about with the sequel trilogy, it's attached already to a very incoherent story of the sequel trilogy. And so I say this, that when it comes to Disney Star Wars with the movies, I think a lot of fans have Stockholm syndrome where we are stuck here. We want something good. We will remain, and we're in, so every time something new seems to come out, like leaks of scripts or leaks of this or what could have been, we pan over it because everything else was so bad. And so we're still panning over something that's still shit. It may have been better than what we got in Rise of Skywalker, but there's a lot of things like with Tor Valum, who is the dark Sith that's over 7,000 years old and was said to be Palpatine's master. That breaks the rule of two. And how that breaks the rule of two is, okay, first of all, if Plagueis was still Palpatine's master and he killed him, but then took another master, then he's still an apprentice. There's no rule of two going on. He never became Sith Lord because he never killed his master. And so now I'm to believe that that he's not as powerful and he's not even a Sith Lord anymore. So, I mean, and to have that Sith still be alive all the way from there up to Ben Solo, I mean, so that's one thing I've seen. I mean, it's better. It sounds better. It's more coherent to the overall trilogy, but still breaks. There's still a lot of lore break in it. Hey, Tugs is in here. Hi, darling. How are you doing? Good morning. So what's your choice of drink this morning? What are you having? All right. Let's see what I missed here. You're going to be on the live stream for sure. Thank you, darling. I can't wait. All right. We have the Tug Life here. And I've had the pleasure of, chatting with her on Twitter. And, she's just really a cool gal. So you guys go find her on Twitter. And Lorena Abu Nas finally getting some lunch. Oh, okay. So that's chat to Abu Nas. I have seen a live stream load so fast, OG. Are you next door? Our YouTube center? I am on my 5G internet connection, and I made sure everything else is turned off that could be using live stream, like on my iPad, all that, so that I have good connection. I learned the hard way where I started getting pixelated, and so I, go through and make sure that my phone's not connected or any other thing, or my Netflix is not connected. I have never seen live stream. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into, it's already 9:33. Let's get into the book here. So how many people have read any of the Legacy of the Force books? I'm going to take off my glasses. Oh, all right. I don't know. I don't like wearing my glasses a lot, so that's why you don't hardly see them on me. So how many of you guys were able to or have read Legacy of the Force series? And what is your favorite book in the series? So I have stated before. Oh, you're having a protein shake. Good. Awesome. My absolute favorite book in Legacy of the Force series is Inferno. I love the battle and the showdown between Luke Skywalker and Jason Solo, and how much, of a badass Luke Skywalker is in there. He basically pins his nephew down to his chair and confronts him, and he's not even stressing or straining in the Force. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing to see Luke Skywalker from the beginning of A New Hope all the way like 50 some years or 45 years becoming the Grand Master and, living the legacy of his father basically and becoming what his father should have become, so I think that is just amazing. And we do see like this book, the series, we do see a lot of conflict. Luke goes through a lot of conflict because, his nephew starts turning. And he, spoilers, loses his wife. If you haven't read it, or you don't know, that's spoilers. I'm going to tell you right now. He loses his wife, and so he has this conflict between being pulled to the dark because he wants revenge. It's so compelling. It's amazing. Sacrifice. Hi, Biden Touch. How are you doing, darling? All right. It was the last series I got through. To me, the EU goes from here to the 140 ABY Dark Horse run, and that's that. Abeloth and the Clone Wars 2008 doesn't exist for me. All right, so Abeloth, so this legacy, so you mean you like to skip over Fate of the Jedi because of Abeloth? Is that what you're saying, Benjamin? I mean, we all gonna love parts of the EU and not necessarily like some either. And that's a given. We all, and that's okay. I really enjoy New Jedi Order. Some people don't. They don't like the Yuuzhan Vong. But I just like the new threat and knowing that the Jedi even are vulnerable to them as well. So it's very compelling to me. All right. Oh, whoops. Who wrote it? The book. You said Inferno. Correct. Yeah. Let me see here. I know there's like 3 authors in the series. So we do have this book here is also Aaron Alstein. And let me see here. So here it is. Okay, so book 1 is Betrayal. Book 2, Bloodline, which I'm reviewing this Tuesday. And that is Karen Travis. And that is basically, we have Boba Fett in there. So if you are very big fan of Boba Fett, we do have Boba Fett in here. And I can't wait to reveal, that book to you guys. Tempest by Troy Denning. So those are the 3 authors in there. So we have Aaron Alstein, Karen Travis, and Troy Denning. And Inferno is by Troy Denning. And I think together, all the series with the 3 authors, I think they blended it beautifully. But they do work with each other. The popular myth with a lot of people is that they didn't work together. The authors didn't work together. No, they're not required to know the next author's book right away, but they need to know the overall plot and what's going on in the story. And I think they did that very well. And then they get approved by George Lucas about the material, especially when it's to his characters. Oh, look at my hair. And, like Luke Skywalker and stuff, anything that has to evolve around them, that has to be approved by George Lucas at the time. And so there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of myths going around saying George was never involved, that it was out of, continuity. There was no coherency. It was all over the place. That's not true. And the more you read the books, the more you will find out, especially when you learn the order and you read them in order, how well they all mesh together. Soul Assassin, hello again. Lord, have mercy on why didn't Disney fake Lucasfilm use all the great EU content for the sequel trilogy? The arrogance of these people. Exactly. And again, and I will still say this, is that the minute they said, okay, that's no longer relevant when it came to the original EU for our stories, is when I basically lost hope with the direction they were going to go. I was very curious, and so my curiosity had me watch the movies, or 1 movie, and no, 2, Rogue One and The Force Awakens. And I said, no, thank you. I'm done. But I do I followed everybody's spoilers. I got the overall plot, and my gut, I have a bad feeling about this, has always been right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and air some clips from this book here. And so you guys can see, one is going to be a clip from the beginning of my little review I did. I tried not to spoil too much on that lore review. I think the next book, Bloodlines, I am going to spoil a lot because there's just so much to talk about that one. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the clip up, share it with you guys so that we can listen. And I'm going to share a few clips here so you guys can get excited. So if you don't have the book or the Audible, I recommend reading it. So let's go ahead and play it. This is Luke's dream. So if you haven't listened to my review on this, this begins my review video.
thought or effort on his part, Luke Skywalker sat upright in bed and looked around at the dimly illuminated chamber. Beside him, his wife Mara stirred, and he glanced down at her. Who doesn't exist? I don't know. An enemy. You dreamed about him? He nodded. I've had the dream a couple of times before. It's not just a dream. It's coming to me through currents in the Force. He's all wrapped up in shadows. A dark hooded cloak, but more than that, shadows of light and... Luke shook his head, struggling for the correct word. And ignorance and denial. And he brings great pain to the galaxy. And to me.
All right, so that's, whoa, excuse me. Oh, that was harsh. All right. That was the very beginning of the book, and this is Luke, his vision, his dreams, or nightmares, or whatever you want to call that. He has seen the dark entity, and he cannot pin who it is, and so he sees and feels this entity throughout the novel, and it fruitions into who it really ends at the end of the novel, towards the end of the novel. Hi, Will Gentry. How are you doing? I see that you're in here. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and go forward a little bit more and go to the Skywalker dinner. So let's go ahead and check that one out. I shouldn't have fully closed this out. All right. So this is a very interesting clip if you haven't had a chance to read the book.
A dense ground meat spiced to the heat tolerance of the diners was, as Leia had prepared it, both mild and savory, and was not likely to cause disagreement all by itself. It was merely the course that was on everyone's plate at the point Han...
This is the separation of the Skywalker families in the beginning.
Looked suspiciously at his nephew Ben. You were doing what? Making sure they did what the government said. The boy returned his uncle's stare, unintimidated. Stop making weapons except for the government. Well, that's an oversimplification, Jason said. This Adumari company was producing explosive ordnance beyond what was permitted for delivery to the Galactic Alliance Armed Forces, or otherwise legal as per Order GAO 1133B. That is, beyond the amounts necessary for their own planetary defense. In other words, they were assembling proton torpedoes and other missiles for sale to other planets, not for delivery to the GA. So? Han asked. That's not business for the Jedi. That's a problem for politicians with nothing better to do. Next thing you know, we'll have Jedi walking the government halls on Corellia and telling us what to do. Leia smiled. Han hadn't lived on Corellia for decades, but in his heart, he was all Corellian, embodying the swagger, the cockiness, the carefree attitude that the citizens of that system considered essential elements of their culture. His exploits during the rebellion and up through the present day had made him dear to the hearts of the people of that system. The second best-known Corellian hero of the same era, Wedge Antilles, did live in the Corellian system, but he was more reserved, less brash, and simply...
So that's the beginning of the separation between the Skywalker Solo families. So Han Solo decides to take his system and his world side in the separation. The Galactic Alliance wants to stop Corellia from making their own weapons, and they want them to follow the galactic rules, I guess you can say. So that is the beginning of basically the split between the families a little bit, and it builds up the drama throughout the series. And Leia decides to, even though she's a Jedi, decides to stay with her husband on this. So she's playing both sides, I guess you can say. She's not necessarily staying neutral. So that's very interesting to see that events. All right, O.G.Starwars, I got to go back to courtroom. Gonna finish playback here later. Rock the spot, Queen Levia. You have a good day at work. Man, hate being out of the sticks. Don't have good enough service to keep up. Oh, I'm so sorry, Batman. I know. It's a struggle. Love how he nails Han's voice. Yes, and that's the thing too, is I just adore like all these narrators, and the narrator here. Oh, let me see. The narrator here, it's not on the book. Silly me. Is Mark Thompson. So he is excellent so if you ever have a chance to listen to audibles, Mark Thompson is one of the best narrators for the Star Wars series. And if you love all the Star Wars sound effects and all that feel, and then we also hear John Williams' score being played off and on in these series and in the books and stuff, it's amazing. Pick them up, especially if you can't have or you don't have time to read. Black Samurai, hello, good morning. What is your choice of drink this morning? Good morning, Second Street Marvel. How are you doing? Again, there are awesome people coming in here with their own channel, Second Street Marvel. Go visit his channel. Also, Abu Nas, go ahead and visit his. We have some amazing people coming through here, checking everything out, you know, from basic pop culture to comics, everything in Star Wars and in between, keeping up with the news. Hello, hello. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and find another clip to play here. Oh, wrong thing here. So let's see here. Okay, there's one I wanted to play. I just didn't mark it. So let's see here.
You almost ended up with my sister running down their origin.
Okay, yes.
I don't think so. In all the galaxy, only you, Jason Solo, would be sufficiently intrigued to follow them all the way here and beyond. Why me? Because only you could read and understand one of the tassels. Only you could detect its significance. And so you demand to be the one who investigated it. All right, Jason said.
All right, so with that one, Jason, Lumaya, basically, I'm going to clip out, I'm going to get out of here. Lumaya basically, I wouldn't say stalks, but tracks down Jason. She wants to turn him to the dark side. And so in this book, she, after the Galactic Empire with Corellia system and all them meet at a special meeting and ball, I guess you can say, and they are attacked. She's kind of responsible for that. She leaves some talismans out, and I called them Cord in the Reveal, but basically talismans that have secret messages from different species or different worlds. And so Jaina was going to go ahead and investigate the talismans. And then for whatever reason, Jason's like, hey, you know, let's trade assignments. And so he takes the talismans and investigates their meanings and goes to a Twi'lek that can help out and other places, and it leads him to Lamaya. And he gets to go to her hideout on the Comet where she's staying at, and that's where he starts getting seduced to the dark side. And he starts doing that because he wants, almost like his grandfather, he goes to the dark side because of to help out the galaxy and the people and his daughter. So if you don't know Jason Solo's history, you know that's one of the reasons why he turns to the dark side, because he thinks he's doing something good. Anakin, he goes to the dark side because he wants to save his family. And so we have that almost similar, but not quite similar kind of, you know, story between the two. Okay, let's read some comments. That sounds like Mark Hamill. Yes, that, like I said, oh God, Mark, was it Mark? What's his name again? Yeah, Mark Thompson. That Tug Life, he is an amazing narrator. So if you have a chance, go download, you know, the audibles. Mark Thompson does great. I think they use the same voice actor for Battlefront. They might. Although Luke, this is Benjamin, although Luke has one of the best one-liners in the old EU in this series when he has Lumaya by the arm, helplessly hanging off the cliff, I'd never let you go. Then, spoiler, yes, I can't wait to get to that one. I can't, so we're jumping ahead there, but you are correct. And when that comes, I will make sure I play that clip for you. Afternoon. Hey, Soul Assassin. Okay, Benjamin, ha ha ha, nice fall. All right, so let's go ahead and check out another clip here. Let's see here. Whoops, the wrong one. I shouldn't have closed it out all the way. My mistake, but that's okay. Let's see, which one are we on here? I'm just going to jump around because I didn't mark the one that I wanted to play. Chapters.
The Corsac officer, trim in her brown and burnt orange uniform, her face hidden behind the blast shield of a combat helmet, leapt into the
Oh, and I forgot one important line in here, our arc in here. And hearing about Corsac reminded me. So Corsac is basically the intelligent investigative organization for Corellia. And Corran Horn used to be a part of Corsac. And so that's why he's always calculating when you read his story. Basically, in the beginning of this, when they want to stop Corellia from developing their weapons and stuff, we find out that Thraken Sal Solo basically is the chief of state there. They call it diktat. I guess you could say that's a Corellian word for like the ruler of their planets or whatever. They're activating Center Point Station, and if you're very familiar with this Corellian trilogy, when Anakin Solo was alive and he was just very, very little, he was gifted. One of his Force gifts was able to manipulate electronics, and so he bonded with the Center Point Station, and he helped destroy it or disable it, I guess. And then he died in the New Jedi Order, which, spoiler, I'm so sorry. And so Thraken Sal Solo finds a way to emulate Anakin Skywalker, and he turns him into a droid. Not Anakin fully a droid, but he makes a droid that has the similar fingerprints and DNA kind of attachment that Anakin, so that they can reactivate Center Point Station. So Jason Solo with Ben Skywalker, not Ben Solo, but Ben Skywalker, goes in and disables the Center Point Station. And so that's a big thing in there. And another thing in there, and I'm going to go back, is so we're rewinding from the point of Jason getting the talisman back to Wedge Antilles and all that, and Corellians, the beginning battles, I guess you can say, with Corellia. And if you read my review, or not read, if you watched my video, I did share a clip about Wedge Antilles. And so Corellia asked Wedge to be involved, to come in, and he said, nope, I'm retired. My family doesn't want none of this. His family are Corellians as well, like his daughters, and they were raised there. And so he declines the request. And then so the Galactic Alliance comes in and asks or demands him to go with them. So basically they imprison him because they see him as a threat. They separate him from his family. And this shows, if you love Wedge Antilles, this shows a lot of his badassery. Yes, I'm going to cuss about it. Badassery, and how technical he is and how he escapes. And he doesn't join Corellia because it's his planet. Now he wants a form of revenge because of what the Galactic Alliance did. And once the higher-ups find out about what they did to Wedge, they're like, yeah, and they're meeting with Luke Skywalker about this because, him and Luke are close. Luke, they say, I think it was Cal Omos, I could be wrong, says if I was treated that way too, then I would take those measures as well. And so they realize how much their forces, their military, screwed up by having, imprisoning Wedge and pissing him off. And so that's a very compelling story right there. So if you love Wedge Antilles, this has some great story about Wedge in here as well, and his daughter, Sael, too, as well. And she's a very compelling character because she basically has inherited the piloting skills of her father. However, she changes her name because she wants to make her own name. She doesn't want to live in her father's legacy as a pilot. She wants to make her own name. All right. Benjamin Keith, to play the clip later, it was my goal, but Luke's mini arc to me carries along with Jason and parts with Jaina. Yes, and that's a great thing. That's why I said the series here is amazing for Luke's arc. And like I said, we should have got something like this at least if they did it, if they wanted to keep continuity with his arc development and not regress him. Disney Lucasfilm really regressed Luke Skywalker. He already went through his hero's journey. He had his trials and tribulations, all that. Now, after Return of the Jedi, he is to step up as the sage, the leader, rebuild. Yes, he was still doubtful, fearful, all that. We see all that in the EU. And he does fall to the dark side. He does have all that, but he was never, ever a pacifist, and he never cowered, no matter how he felt. All right. Oh, what did I do? All right. The screen share is bananas right now. That looks crazy. Yeah, sorry. All right. I know, right? I am drinking gin and juice right now. Double tripping. Sorry about that. Yeah. I didn't get out of there. I didn't close out. All right. Okay, so I shared a little bit more about a lot of arcs going on here. We even have Cornhorn, who's Corellian, and so this also affects him and his family, and we'll see a lot more of that in the series as well. He is one of my favorite Jedis as well because he's gifted very different in the Force. And so in Disney Lucasfilm, everybody who's gifted the Force is basically, you're going to become powerful, really, and it's stupid. I think it's really stupid. I'd rather have Jedi Force users have different gifts and different talents, and and they say power, but I'd rather call them gifts and talents because that's what it is. Yeah, so I really like his arc because he can't do telekinesis. He's very gifted in other ways with his Force ability. All right, let me see. I want to find one more clip here. I want to go towards the end. Like I said, I didn't bookmark much, and I should have. Just get your shit together, Laura, right? Okay. Let's see here.
Break free and float like a ghost away from his body.
Okay, so that's not exactly the one I wanted, but I have an idea where I need to go. So I'm going to go towards the end here. And towards the end of the novel, we have Jason turning, accepting his Lumaya as his master. And Ben is with him. And let's see here. Jason and Ben are basically... Stop it.
Star System MZ.
Ben and Jason are basically made into Force illusions by Lumaya to fight Ben against his mom, Mara, and then Jason against his master, Luke Skywalker. And it's very trippy, and then we see these Force illusions. Again, we've seen him in the Disney trilogy, but no one friggin' died. Lumaya didn't die from it. Ben or Jason didn't die from it. So this is where, again, I become detached from what Disney's trying to do, because you can overdose from the Force now. So Jason Solo and Ben Skywalker are created as Force illusions to fight against the mom, Mara Jade, and Luke Skywalker. And during this transition time, this is when Lumaya is seducing Jason Solo, and he is and being turned, and he's accepting her as his master. Frank Hernandez, I don't have super chats just yet. But we are working on that right now. I am almost at 800 subscribers. I hope that by next month we could be 1,000. That's a goal of mine, and get monetization. However, if you want to contribute to my channel, you can go check out my merch right now. And I'm going to look in other ways to do a kind of like a super chat as well. Thank you so much for asking. That's kindly appreciated. I love it. Thanks. So the story arc here is very, very interesting. Again, I forgot to mention this exact example of making Force illusion to fight. You know, because we've seen Luke Skywalker do this in The Last Jedi. And he force projects himself to meet one-on-one with Ben Solo. And he dies from it. And then we hear Snoke, you know, force projecting Ben and Rey. And they're meeting each other, you know, and these are force projections as well. So I think, like I said, Disney wants to create their own lore now. They want to make it their own. But like I said, it just took me out of the belief that this can really happen, because, you know, we already seen it developed in the original lore, and now I'm to believe that you're just going to die from it now. So no. All right. So if you haven't already, please hit the like button. And if you haven't had a chance yet, please subscribe. Again, my goal is to get up to 1,000 and begin the monetization here, so that we can get hopping with this channel a little bit more and have some more fun. And I will still continue to bring content to you guys as well for Star Wars Original EU. All right, let me go back to that clip. Let me see here.
False Luke.
Okay, here it is. Oh, you guessed right.
Them disappear. Jason kicked off from the wall
All right.
and flew forward again. He knew that this solidly planted, gravitationally advantaged Luke had adapted to Jason's low-gravity tactics, so he altered them. The instant he touched down before the false Luke, he planted his feet and used the force to brace him there, then threw a flurry of hard blows. It was no use. The false Luke adapted instantly to his change in tactics, reverting to a softer, defensive style, turning away each of Jason's all-out attacks, and he did so, grinning, silently mocking. The false Luke, instead of countering Jason's fifth blow in sequence, sidestepped it, luring Jason forward and off balance. Luke's counterstrike whipped around and down toward Jason's unprotected back. Enough, Grisha said, and the false Luke vanished. Jason, straightening, looked up at Grisha. Who was that, really? She shrugged. A combination of real Luke Skywalker and the dark side energy of this place. A combination that would have beaten you, since you weren't utilizing the same energy, the resources available to you. She still held on to one of the rails, sagged against it actually. She was perspiring.
Did that even play? Was I just sitting there just in silent? Did that even show up on there? Did I screw up? Damn it. I did not do that. Well, good for me, Alora. Oh, yes, it played. It was playing. Good. Okay, good. So you guys did hear it. Oh, thank God. Holy crapola. Okay, good. So again, here we go. I'm still getting used to sharing these screens here. So yes, Soul Assassin, thank you so much. Help me out. Let's do this, you guys. I'm so grateful. You can even find me on Toxic Femininity with the ladies. I'm enjoying this journey with them and sharing our pop culture with you guys as well. So this clip here, we heard the Bria, that's Lumaya. So if you haven't caught on yet, that's Lumaya. And she's using a different name because she's hiding from Luke Skywalker. So if you haven't read through the books yet, Lumaya was basically a love interest of Luke. But she also was going after Luke to assassinate him as well. And through a Force vision, Luke suspected her tendencies and her dark side, and the Force basically, through the guidance of the Force, he shot her down, and Vader rescued her, and now she's like cyborg in a sense, like Vader too as well. And so she is after Jason. Part of her tendency is to get back at Luke Skywalker as well. It's a very compelling and very interesting plot story there in itself. And thank you guys. I was like, I didn't bring it up. It's not on the screen, but then you guys heard it. Thank you so much. Yeah, so she is seducing Jason already, and she basically force projects with the power of the dark side energy on the asteroid where she's at. And so Jason himself is fighting his uncle there at the asteroid, and at the same time Luke is fighting Jason in their apartment on Coruscant. And so that's very compelling because when you read the book or you listen to Audible, Luke has a beard, and in this this Force projection, so he has a beard, and we do see Luke Skywalker have a beard in The Last Jedi. However, he doesn't have a beard overall inside the story. So that's I thought that was very interesting. Not that I'm like saying, oh, that's good, blah, blah, blah. I'm just sharing some similarities. And then the same with Mara Jade. I didn't play the clip with Mara Jade fighting her son, but basically the same thing. Ben is fighting his mom on the asteroid because he's with Jason, and then also in their apartment on Coruscant. So Luke and Mara are in different areas in the apartment, and they basically were fighting basically Mara, her son, and Luke, his nephew slash apprentice. Well, yeah, his because Luke trained Ben, so. And Ben's now a Jedi Knight, though. So, but still, you get what I'm saying. So that's very compelling. And so that lesson was there for Jason, is to use all of his dark side energy and anything he could to battle, to confront, and as a lesson. And so that is very, very compelling. So I recommend this book. And at the end of the book, and we're going to close out here. He slays the Jedi with him. What was her name again? She's in here. What was her? Okay, Nilani. So Nilani, Ben Solo, and Nilani is a Jedi Knight. She just recently was coined a Jedi Knight, so she went through her trials and all that. So she's with Jason and Ben on that journey. And so when Jason is put in an ordeal to where he has to choose where he wants to go within this a new journey as a Sith apprentice, and what he sees in his, when he looks forward into the future, is that he has to kill Nilani. If he doesn't, and he lets her go, and she will eventually tell who Lumaya is, spoil everything, and in the end, Luke Skywalker ends up dead. So I thought that was very compelling. So, but if he kills Nilani, then he saves his uncle. So that there, he ends up killing Nilani. He takes on the apprentice role to Lumaya, and they journey home. Yeah, Yuzhan Vong was a great story. So again, I highly recommend you guys pick up this book. Next book is Bloodlines. Let me see if I can pull it out here. Yes, I see it. So hold on. I am not disappearing from you guys. I'm going to grab my book. Ooh. So next book for this next week is Legacy of the Force, Bloodlines here. And we have our beloved Boba Fett. And this is where we get his story and history about his family. So if you're not aware of, hi Becky, how you doing? If you're not aware of Boba's arc in the EU, he does have a family. And it's a very interesting arc here. And so his family starts coming back into the picture. and also to him as a Mandalore and all that starts picking up in here a little bit more as continued as a Mandalore. And so this bounces back and forth between Fett and the Mandalores and, you know, the rest of the story with Luke and his family and what's going on and what's occurring. And we see that, you know, Jason's plans and all this stuff. So please, you know, keep up on, you know, watching the reviews and coming into these coffee chats so we can discuss this. And I would like if any one of you guys that come in here, if you have read the book or have listened to the Audible, I don't mind bringing you in so we can discuss live chat if you wish. I would love to send out the link and have someone in here and discuss it, or maybe 2 or 3 of you guys, and have you guys join me in a discussion a little bit more so I can get, you know, another version or another take on how you felt about the book, or, you know, or maybe see you will share something with me that I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, or I didn't see it that way. So O.G.Starwars, hello. Yes, I said hello, hello, hello. All right. Yes, it is a very awesome story. The Fett Man, yes. Yeah, and that's the thing. And they tried to say there's, you know, a story in the, I'm getting all tangled up here and it's bothering the hell out of me. There we go. Yeah, they're in the Clone Wars. Yes, that was kind of retcon. But then again, you know, we do have the pacifist Mandalorian. So maybe there is a loophole where he's not from the pacifist Mandalorians, but from the Warrior Society. You know, so who knows? But when you go back and look at Legend's story of Fett, he's still a Mandalorian, and he still is. He still becomes Mandalore, the ruler, and leads his people through the Yuuzhan Vong wars, and still continues to be the Mandalore here. And so it's a very compelling story as well. The audibles are the best, or the audiobooks, yeah. I read that book when it came out. I should go back and reread it. Yes, Gabrielle, I suggest that. It's amazing. I don't know if you meant this one or Bloodlines, but they're all amazing. So again, I'll read you guys, and I'll post it on my Twitter as well, all the books in the series. And I'm going down, and I'm even going to go, we are going to go back and discuss Inferno again. I just won't do a review. I may do a lore during that time frame when we get to Inferno, because I already skipped ahead and did that. So again, this is 40 ABY, between 40 ABY after Battle of Yavin. So if you don't know the date stamp, that's what that is, to 41.5 ABY. So we have this whole year and a half, 2.5 years of amazing story and changes within the galaxy and the Skywalker family. And so the first book, again, Betrayal. Second is Bloodlines. And I'll put this in the description below too on the order of the books as well, so you guys can follow along and see what's next. Then Tempest, Exile. And man, that's crazy. That's a crazy book because Jason hunts down his own parents. It's crazy. All right. Sacrifice, which a lot of people's hearts were broken during that time. Inferno, one of Luke's best moments. Hands down, that's my opinion, but hey. Fury, Revelation. So we start getting training, Jaina with Boba Fett. That's amazing. And Invincible, the fight of the twins. And that's that too. So you know what's compelling now that I'm talking about twins? In the beginning of the story, we get the twins, the Skywalker twins, Luke and Leia. And then now, you know, 40 some odd years later, we have the Skywalker solo twins. And these twins have to battle each other. And so I think it's very compelling and such an interesting plot and story as well. And then after that, I'm just going to read this here. You know, standalone novels is Coruscant, Riptide, Millennium Falcon, which Millennium Falcon is a very fun story. If you like Alana Solo, Jason's daughter, and Han and Leia, and you really like the ship, and want to know more history about the ship, it's a very compelling story. I would put it up as a fun read, pick it up as a fun read, or even listen because it is on Audible. And then we do have The Fate of the Jedi starting at 43.5 ABY. That leads all the way up to 44. And then your standalone novels ending with Crucible. And again, I will always state this. That's where Disney should have started their trilogy and it's kept the EU lore and expanded on the new three biggies, I guess you can say. Sword of the Jedi, Jaina Solo, Ben Skywalker, and Jagged Fell, because Jaina's already married to Jagged Fell. Hello, Jim Morty. How are you doing? All right, so let's go ahead and finish reading Boba book. Okay. Frank Hernandez, Rise of Skywalker comes out here in the Philippines on Friday, Alora. I'm telling everyone here in the Manila, it's garbage, that retcons Anakin's story. Wow, I didn't realize that. Wow. And how many weeks are we in from? Like 2 or 3 now? From since it's aired? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't recommend it, but if someone's gonna, like anybody I know, it's gonna go watch it, more power to you. However, if you know the lore, it's gonna piss you off. So like casual moviegoers and those who really don't get into the lore too much. But again, even if you're a casual moviegoer and you've watched all the Star Wars, you should know something about Anakin Skywalker's arc as the chosen one. So if they cannot see the retcon that happened in there, then I don't know what else to say other than that. It's like hitting them on their head. They have no clue what's going on. Gabrielle, have they ever released a book on just the cover art of all the Star Wars books? Some of those covers are just amazing. You know what? I'm gonna look into that. I never really thought about looking into that. That's very interesting. If I find it, then I will share it on live stream or share it on my channel. Okay, and I'll post her question up here so you guys can see it. Fuel the hatred. Kenobi does. Kenobi does. Becky, did I miss something? I might have missed something here, but oh, okay, yeah. Are you talking about Kenobi Audible? So I think I did a lore review on the book a while ago on Kenobi, one of my absolute favorite books. And I suggest you guys go check it out. I don't know if I covered the full story on my coffee chat. If I haven't, then we will add that as well. But we do have that Kenobi series happening. Let me just get comfortable again. And so I want to rehash on that and review on that again, re-review on that to get you guys excited. I'm all about comparing, contrasting between the lores. Oh, the cover of the book. Oh, yes, that's a great. And they do use that to advertise about Kenobi sometimes. So yes, that's awesome. But what I was saying is that once we get more about the Kenobi series coming out, I am going to do a lot of Kenobi stuff with that pertains to the original EU. I like to compare and contrast. Those who are very familiar with original EU lore should be able to notice the difference between what's going to be produced or what's produced for that, as well as what was in the original lore, just like we are seeing similarities with the Mandalorian and the Fets. So all right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end here. So again, let's get up to 1,000 subscribers here, you guys. You guys are amazing. I enjoy doing this with you, reviewing the lore. I do provide some Star Wars news. And, and a lot of lore reviews, fun facts. I haven't done a fun fact in a while, so I think I'm going to do one here soon. And I'm working on part 3. I did part 2 review basically on live stream. I was having trouble with live stream. I had, and so I just trashed it, to do my video, and I just trashed it and just talked about it on another live stream about lightsabers, like the history, how it became. Damn, it's just bad. My sinuses are acting up. I hate it. I freaking hate it. So part 3 is coming up, and we'll get into crystals. So finding how Jedi found crystals, how dark side users or Sith came up with their crystals as well. It's different than the Star Wars EU. Yeah, so we'll expand on that here. That's coming within a week or two. So part 3. I hope Kenobi series uses the book for a source. I hope so too. But do you think that, okay, so if they did, so does that mean that they will take that book out of Legends? But if they do, there's some things that may change up that contradict as well. So, but we shall see. However, I'd rather just them keep Legends separate from the original EU, and just expand on the books than are there. I don't like the lighting here. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right. Have a great day. Have a great one. Yes, thank you so much. If anything, and may the force be with you. Yes, thank you. If anything, they'll just pick and choose what they want from it. That's what they've been doing this whole time, right? All right. I do. Oh my God. This right here. Laura, you need a SJW Tears mug. Yes. Oh, goodness. Yes. That would be fun. I like sassy mugs. Just like this one right here. My sassy mug. How about the original species of the Sith? There's so much to review and expand on. Yes, I will get to that as well. I mean, there's so many areas, and I'm not following the timeline. I'm skipping around. But I will let you guys know, hey, this is pertaining to this timeline here and the story here. So go ahead and check it out. So I tried to give you guys an idea on what part of the timeline this book of review is about, or the history of something and where it lies within the timeline of the Star Wars history. Soul Assassin, making crystal bleed more makes no sense and sounds wrong. Synthetic crystals are better. Yes, and so I'll cover about that too as well. I will compare and contrast a bit with the Disney lore on that, because that was a turnoff for me as well. And so we will have that. I will cover that. According to Christy, oh my God, darling, we are getting ready to close out here. How are you doing? What is your choice of drink for this morning or this afternoon? I know you're a couple hours ahead of me. Soul Assassin, thank you so much for helping out here. Hey, at Becky Brown's and according to Christy, shout out from Lorena. Gelly Dorn, they talk about doing couture, so it's possible they mess up true Star Wars as well. And that's the thing. And the thing is that the rumors about using High Republic instead of the Old Republic when it comes to couture and stuff, there might be a name change. And I don't know how that's going to sit well with a lot of couture fans, or even those who are familiar with the timeline as well. Let's see here. All right. So again, like and subscribe, share the channel. Let's get up to 1,000 and beyond. Let's get monetized. I do have a merchandise store here. I will post in the descriptions below. It's off of Redbubble. If you haven't had a chance, you can pick up a O.G.Starwars mug with my avatar, either with the text O.G.Starwars Legends Girl or without, your choice. And also Traveler's mug. I also have t-shirts for men and women. So we have women cuts and as well as regular men t-shirts as well. So again, you can get those with the text or not, but with my avatar. I'm very, very excited about that. That helps my channel out greatly, and I would love it if you guys did that. That's amazing. If you do, share on Twitter, follow me at Alora Baga. You'll see me, Alora Baga, O.G.Starwars as well. And again, next book up is Bloodlines. And so don't confuse this with Disney Star Wars Bloodline, where it has Leia. They're not the same. So this is Bloodlines. So go ahead and pick this book up, or if you have it, begin to read it. Or if you don't have time, the Audible is amazing. So thank you so much for coming in. Again, check out my merchandise, like and subscribe, share, share, share. Thank you so much. And may you guys have a great day. May the force be with you. Cheers.